I am Ferdinand Marcos, and I am the President of the Republic of the Philippines. I stand today on behalf of 110 million Filipinos.
Hello people and hello universe, it's me again. Shout out sa inyo mga kababayan, especially the mamamayang Pilipino sa buong daigdig, and of course guys, ang Marcos loyalists and supporters. But anyway guys, mayroon tayong updates videos, and this is good news for everybody, no? Ay kasi maraming nagtatanong ano kaya ang masasabi ng Pangulo sa mga issue. Ayan, ito po guys, sinagot niya na, no? Ay one-on-one interview, no, ni Pangulong Marcos Jr. With a very beautiful anchor ng GMA7 na si Pia Arcangel, ano? Ay ito guys, ang mga tanong dito tungkol po dito sa pagbati niya sa bagong halal ng Taiwan. Ito naman si China nag-react, bawal daw kasi dapat igalang daw yung One China policy. Sus Mariusip, ano? At dito sa People Initiative, ayan, na isinagot niya din tungkol po dito sa desisyon ni Sara Duterte tatakbo sa next election. Pakinggan nyo. At tungkol po dito sa pinakamahalaga, itong economic provision na tinatanong ni Pia, ni Miss Pia, na kung economic lang nga ba, hindi kasali ang political. Of course guys, ang sagot ng Pangulo, yung economic lang, no? Economic provision lang. Alam nyo guys, ang Pangulo, pag nagsalita yan, pag nagbitaw ng salita, isang tinutupad niya po yan, no? May isang salita ang ating mahal na Pangulo. Hindi po urong-sulong ang kanyang mga sinasabi, no? Ganyan sa katalino, may panindigan sa mga sinasabi nyo. Kaya tiwala lang tayo sa Pangulo, no? Economic provision lang yan. Ayan. Maraming tinatanong guys, yung iba kinat natin kasi maingay, hindi gaano marinig. So but anyway guys, gusto nyo marinig ang kanilang conversation, ay napakaganda ito. Updates ito guys para sa inyong lahat, no? At syempre excited kayo malaman yung side ni Pangulong Marcos Jr. sa mga issue ngayon. Nako mga bes, maganda ito. But anyway mga bes, bago nyo panuorin, ito po ay courtesy po ng GMA News, Balitang Tanghali one-on-one interview. Next naman, see you again guys on my next upload video. Don't forget to like naman and hit the comment section. Ayan, and subscribe na rin po kayo. Maraming salamat sa inyo. God bless Philippines. See you again on my next upload videos. Bye 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 and babus. God.
Para sa Wayne Church kung saan pinanday ang unang saligang batas ng Pilipinas, 125 taon na ang nakakaraan. Nakadaong pang palad ko si Pangulong Bongbong Marcos. Sa isang pambihirang pagkakataon, binigyan ako ng access na malapitang makasamang Pangulo sa kanyang aktibidad.
Hello, is it okay sir? I'll be sitting beside you. Thank you sir.
It's very loud.
Thanks for letting us fly with you sir. There are so many diffusions.
Sa aking eksklusibong one-on-one interview sa Pangulo, tinanong ko siya tungkol sa pagsusulong ng mga amyenda sa saligang batas.
The 1987 Constitution was not written for a globalized world. And that is where we are now. So we have to adjust so that we can increase the economic activity in the Philippines. We can attract more foreign investors.
Naniniwala ang Pangulo na makatutulong sa ekonomiya ang pamumuhunan ng mga dayuhan. Pero sa ngayon, nililimitahan ng saligang batas ang foreign ownership sa 40% sa mga public utilities gaya ng kuryente, tubig at public utility vehicles. Meron ding 100% na hindi maaaring mapunta sa kamay ng mga dayuhan, gaya ng lupa.
Akong feeling ko, I'm sure we will hear from the others, but those who have resided in an area over many years, papasok yung mga mayayaman na dayuhan, they will pay big money to buy that land. The value of the land will go up, and the old residents cannot pay for the real estate tax because na-price nawala na sa market nila. So, papaalisin natin yung mga yan. I don't think I agree with that.
So, hindi kayo pabor sa foreign ownership of land?
Land in the...
Pero sir, pagdating sa corporation?
Corporations, bakit pwede natin pag-usapan except for the critical areas such as power generation, media, all the strategic areas that we cannot allow to be influenced by a foreign entity, be it a corporation or another country. That's what we have to decide where we draw the line and how much.
Tanong ko rin sa Pangulo, hanggang sa economic provision lang ba talaga magtatapos ang pag-amyenda sa saligang batas? Sa sagot ng Pangulo, hindi siya sarado sa pag-amyenda ng political provisions, pero hindi sa ngayon.
Let's be practical. In terms of the term limits, look what has happened. When I'm the mayor for 9 years, di na ako makatakbo. So patakbuhin ko yung asawa ko, patakbuhin ko yung anak ko. Ako ngayon ang magiging vice mayor. So wala ring nagbago, di ba? They're still running the show. We have a term in Ilocos, we call them mayor vice. Because they're the vice mayor, but they're running the administration of the town. So that's something, we have to think about that. But I think in the present day, we can have these discussions later on. But for the present day, my concern is the economic provisions. So, and I do not want to confuse the issue any longer.
Pero sir, dun sa example mo kanina, term limit extension, pwedeng maging magandang bagay para sa bayan?
Could be. I don't know. What are we trying to achieve, first of all? Like if you look at other countries, for example, again, the United States, which our political system is styled after. And in the United States, iba-ibang state. Some states have term limits, other states do not have. So I don't know how that will translate to our own experience. So that we just continue talking about it and see what really is the best thing what we can do. But I do not want to jeopardize the success of the amendments to the economic provisions by putting in other issues. Let's keep the issue clear. In my view, that's the way to do it.
Pinag-usapan din namin ni Pangulo Marcos ang inanunsyong plano sa politika ni Vice President Sara Duterte na kanyang running mate noong eleksyon 2022.
I think she's also testing the waters to see what the reaction will be. That's the only thing I can hear. I haven't talked to her about it. But if again, no, it doesn't. Did you hear that Inday Sara announced? Yes. Okay, that's it. Wala nang doon. What do you think she'll do? Ayan na. Stop it. We'll talk about that later.
Panahon ng kanya ama nang sumang-ayon ng Pilipinas na kilalanin ang One China policy na nagsasabing may iisang gobyerno lamang ang China at ang Taiwan ay isa lamang probinsya nito. Kamakailan lang umalma ang China sa pagbati ni Pangulo Marcos kay Taiwan President-elect Lai Ching-te sa pagkapanalo nito sa eleksyon. Sabi ng China, labag daw ito sa One China policy at huwag daw maglaro ng apoy ang Pilipinas. Sa kauna-unahang pagkakataon, sinagot ito ni Pangulo Marcos.
But just recently po, yung China has made some remarks na parang, kumbaga sir, parang ikinagulat daw nila or ikinadismaya nila yung pagbati po ninyo, sir, sa Taiwanese President-elect. Did this catch you by surprise? I mean, it came from you. It was a personal tweet that you personally posted.
It did. Ako, very simple lang ang ko dyan. Nung naging presidente ako, binati ako. So, what do? It's just common courtesy that you do the same for them.
Tama.
That's really where it came from. The One China policy remains in place. We have adhered to the One China policy strictly and conscientiously since we adopted the One China policy. And that has not changed. That will not change. We are not endorsing Taiwanese independence. Taiwan is a province of China, but the manner in which they will be brought together again is an internal matter. Ang habol lang natin dito ay kapayapaan na hindi magkagulo.
Iar Canghel nagbabalita para sa ang nakikitang solusyon ng Pangulo sa problema ng traffic, maganda at epektibong public transport system. Kasama dito ang pagdagdag ng mga ferry station sa Pasig River na sasailalim sa rehabilitasyon pero magdi-displace naman sa libo-libong residente na nakatira sa gilid ng ilog.
There is a plan already na kapag-identify na kami along Pasig River, kapag-identify na kami yung mga tinatawag na transition areas. Well, magtatayo tayo ng temporary na budget para yung mga ngayon na spotted sila ngayon. Ilalagay muna sila doon habang pinatayo yung kanilang housing. In the end, the plan is for them to all have housing.
Kamakailan, umapila si Health Secretary Ted Herbosa na ipagpaliban muna ang pagtaas ng kontribusyon ng mga miyembro ng PhilHealth.
Sir, so ongoing yung pag-aaral kung dapat nga bang taasan or hindi yung mga contribution ng mga tao?
It's all cost benefit. It's really all cost benefit. If we increase, halimbawa, pinag-uusapan na yung increase of contribution ng PhilHealth from 4% to 5%, tinitignan ko, sasabihin ko, sige, if you're going to increase it, just show the other side of that. What will be the increase in services? What will you be able to cover? What more will you be able to cover?
Pero sir, you're not leaning towards any particular decision yet in regards to increasing the contribution?
Because it's very hard to quantify. It's very hard to quantify health. You know, how much is it worth to you? It's worth different things to different people.
Sir, thank you so much. Thank you for taking time out to be with us and talk to us, sir.
Thank you for the chance to talk to you and to your audience.